Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA and e-commerce business for sale in the kitchenware niches. Created in January 2016, this business makes $8,616 on average per month in net profits. The listing number for this site is 46764. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. Now, we've got the seller on the call with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection, traffic, and monetization. So thanks for coming on to the call today, Ahmed.
Hey, Brendan, thank you for having me over, and it's good to be speaking with you.
Yeah, same here. I'm really excited to talk to you about this business you've created. Now, I'm going to go through a quick summary. The business was built in January 2016, has an average monthly revenue of $35,390 per month, and on average, a net profit of $8,616 per month. Included in the sale are the Amazon Seller Central account with 26 SKUs, the domain and all site content and files, the trademark in the US and China, social media accounts, email list, Shopify storefront, and it is worth noting that inventory is not normally included in the list price and further details can be provided to active depositors. So, Ahmed, can you tell me how you got started in running and building online businesses?
Well, the idea first came because I was actually my original business was based in China. I was working as a sourcing specialist for a company there in starting 2012. So I was exploring the concept of having an online business based on physical products. At that time, digital products were all the rage. So I thought, why not incorporate my experience in the sourcing field and the supplier relationships I got to cultivate over the years and start a business of my own based on the physical product niche. And this is when it all started in 2015, I think, if I could remember correctly. In March 2015, I started researching and studying more about Amazon and the e-commerce space in general. And this is where I got my idea after some research. And by Jan 2016, I was live with my first product on the platform. And till this day, I'm still running the business since I first founded in January 2016.
So why is it that you decided to choose this specific niche? Was there something that you had learned in the past or something that may have influenced your decision for this specific niche?
Yeah, precisely, because I wanted to stay away from things that were too complicated or things that have too many moving parts or were complex. So I started the process by eliminating which niches I didn't want to be involved in and then focusing on the ones remaining. So I excluded all electronic product niches since these were the most troublesome, in my opinion, for operating. I wanted something that had a very low amount of complex parts or mechanisms. I just wanted a straightforward product that you could take out of the box and start using immediately, even without having to be an expert on the product or the subject of the product, so that anyone could use it as soon as they got it. And this is what pushed me to choose the current niche I'm currently selling in, which is the kitchenware niche. I know kitchenware is a big niche with many subcategories or products in there, but yeah, it was the main niche. And then I delved into it more and chose a sub niche of my own that I think is working pretty well now.
Yeah, no, it's really great to hear. And it's always good to stay within an evergreen niche that you know will always have a demand and a market for it, no matter what happens in the future. So that's great to see. Now, why is it that at this point in time you're deciding to sell the business, Ahmed?
I have a lot of reasons for selling. The first of them being that I need the capital from the sale of the business for another business venture that I'm currently pursuing here back home. Mainly, it has to do with a manufacturing facility. So I'm sure you know that this costs a lot of money. And when I calculated it, I found out that the only way to move forward with this was through selling the business. This was for starters. And number two, I believe I have reached a point in my business where to grow further, I would have to invest more in hiring and having a team of employees that would help me scale the business at a larger level. And I do not have the time, unfortunately, or the resources to do this now. So I thought it would be much better if someone with the right experience could take over and help the business grow to the level that I envisioned it would be in the past years.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is basically it. I think that at this level, with the resources I have and working by myself, there is a certain level at which I will not be able to grow anymore unless more resources, more time, and more personnel are involved in managing the business.
Mhm. Now, during the time that you were, running this business, Ahmed, was there anything that you had learned that you're planning on using in your future business?
Mainly, most of the stuff was related to the supplier part of the business and the supply chain, the inventory planning
Hmm.
part of the business, because I believe this is a very important aspect that should not be overlooked. And it's also one of the reasons why in 2018 we had a drop in sales, as evident in the data you have for the listing. So, yeah, I think the most important lesson is inventory management for me. And this is what I have learned the most in these past years. Because if you are not planning correctly for your inventory levels, being out of stock sometimes is usually a bigger problem than you could have imagined. Having to re rank the products and start all over again, this is certainly something you don't want to be dealing with. So, yeah, I would say the most important thing is having a good supply chain management process in the business and making sure that you are always up to date on your product levels and your forecasting levels for what you're selling.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's definitely, very important when it comes to this monetization. Now, so where does the majority of your traffic come from then? Is it all coming from Amazon Organic, or are you running some ads within Amazon as well?
Yeah, I think 90%, it's safe to say that 90% of the traffic is solely Amazon based.
Hmm.
We do run PPC on the side, but when we do compare the reports after each month, our organic sales are much higher than the PPC sales. Now, I know there is a correlation between both because sometimes the PPC data does not reflect on the correct amount of traffic pushed, or some people might notice the ads, but they would not press on the listings right away. They could later go on and purchase the items. So I would say, yeah, most of the traffic is from Amazon itself. PPC surely helps drive some traffic, but more than 50% is, I think, in organic sales.
Hmm.
What I mean to say, if I turned off PPC today, the sales would drop, but by less than 50% of what they originally are.
Hmm.
There is no outside traffic. We do not use outside traffic, also because I do not have time to manage the outside traffic part of the business and because I'm not experienced with it. So I left this part out and focused on Amazon itself. Ironically, though, we do still enjoy some sales on our e-commerce store, even though we are not pushing any traffic or doing any kind of social media marketing.
Hmm.
But I guess that's also a plus when you consider that if we're getting some sales on the store without any outside traffic, I could only imagine what could happen if there is someone capable of driving traffic to the website and who knows what they're doing.
Right. Now, are you doing any other type of marketing as far as like email campaigns or anything else like that?
Yeah, of course. This is the one aspect that we try to focus on outside Amazon. We do have a good subscriber email list that we have cultivated over the years. We do push out newsletters before the holidays and the holiday rush on the days like the Thanksgiving and the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, these kinds of events and days. We sometimes push the traffic from the newsletters to our Amazon listings if we want to rank products a little bit higher, or if we are satisfied with the ranking of the products on Amazon already, we push this traffic to our website to drive more traffic and create more buzz around the keywords.
Okay. Now, can you describe, the process of how you're getting your inventory from your manufacturer suppliers to Amazon themselves?
Yeah, basically, as I already mentioned in the beginning, sourcing products and dealing with the suppliers is where I excel in because this was my main business. I'm a sourcing specialist at heart. So finding suppliers and negotiating terms with them was the easiest part of the process for me. And dealing with many suppliers over the years, you kind of know how to choose them and how to cultivate the relationship with them over the years. Basically, now what we do is that we plan for the entire year and then we split. For example, if I know that from one SKU, for example, I could sell about 2,000 or 3,000 pieces a year, I would divide this 3,000 piece by two or three different shipments based on the MOQ of the supplier, but I would manufacture them all at once so that they are ready at the supplier's warehouse. So once I'm ready to top up my Amazon inventory, I could just wire the money and the inventory would be sent right away without having to wait for it to be produced since it was already manufactured before. Yeah, and my suppliers, they pretty much know I sell on Amazon. So they are now very familiar with the process on how to label the products and the barcodes, the carton labels. And with the help of a very professional freight forwarder based in China, the process is very seamless. We just process and initiate the order. Once the goods are manufactured, I send the list of the items with their quantities that I need shipped right away. I create the carton labels and the product barcodes, send them over. and then my freight forwarder handles the rest with my suppliers. The goods are sent from China to a US warehouse, which the freight forwarder owns, and then it's collected by Amazon partner carriers, or I could send them directly to Amazon from the freight forwarder's warehouse in the US as well.
Okay. No, it's really great to hear that you already have the 3PL and the other services already set up and in order, and coming from a background of sourcing products, that's always good to have that, knowledge and those connections with those suppliers. Now, hypothetically, Ahmed, if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways that you would try and grow it?
Growing the business, there are many things to do. First, I would say different strategies for PPC. I know PPC is an ever changing process, and every day there is a change in the algorithms and change in the campaign structures and stuff like this. So I believe someone who is on top of their game for PPC could optimize the campaigns much better than I'm doing right now, because most of the PPC campaigns, believe it or not, I haven't changed since a year, keeping the same keywords and same structure over and over. Nothing is being changed, because when I try to change something, it doesn't always go in my favor with increased sales. Sometimes it decreases. So I stopped doing this because I didn't know where the fault was. So I believe optimizing PPC and relying on social media to drive traffic as well would result in increased sales for the business. But I'm not able to do this by myself. If I would do this, I need to hire someone who is professional and knows what they're doing. Because to be honest, for me, for example, I know I'm a sourcing specialist, and the best thing I could do is find the right products with the right price from the right supplier and get them to the US. This is what I excel at doing. But marketing and advertising, PPC, social media marketing, and stuff like this is not where I shine, and it's not where I excel. I'm learning by doing and doing everything by myself. But as I said, I believe if someone knows what they're doing and they know this stuff in and out, they could really make a difference in growing the business.
Yeah, no, definitely having the low-hanging fruit already, just awaiting for a new potential buyer to just kind of take them and really run with it and push this business to the limit is also what makes it very interesting and very something that I see, a lot of potential buyers looking at. Now, on the flip side of that, Ahmed, what do you feel are some of the biggest risks with this business?
The biggest risks with this business, for starters, most of the SKUs that we have right now, we have around 26 SKUs currently on the account, 12 of which are active right now, and the remaining are inactive. The remaining are inactive not because they are bad or because they are products that flipped, but simply because there is not enough capital to have 26 SKUs all online and live at the same time. This would need more capital injection. Most of the products are interconnected, so if you could optimize one of the products, this would help the other products sell together, because most of the products are related to each other in some way. And when I started this business, I wanted to make it so that from the outside, it would seem that if you get one, you'd have to get the remaining to complete your set or your collection. Using this, it helped us very much to drive traffic to some of the newer launched products without any PPC or reviews, because people could simply see that they were related to the collection that they had already purchased something from. So I would say maybe the biggest risk in this area would be that most of the products are supplied by 3 to 4 suppliers. These are all the suppliers that we have for the business. I have a very good relationship with them. They have been operating for years, and everything is done perfectly according to what I need. So yeah, maybe because of the low number of suppliers available, but they do supply us all what we need and more. I didn't see it necessary to snoop around for more suppliers than this. We get the best prices that we need for the best quality available there, and they were really being helpful. The other downside or risk, I would say, with the business is, of course, that with the changing algorithm of Amazon and the ranking for products, if you're not up to date on what to change, what to optimize, or what to write, yeah, things might definitely be slower unless you're on top of your game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely important to stay on top of any type of updates, whether it's through Google or Amazon itself. Now, do you feel like there's any particular skill that a potential buyer should already have in order to take this business over, Ahmed?
If the buyer already have experience with Amazon businesses, I think it would be a pretty much straightforward process, because as I said, most of our products are not complex. They are very easy to understand and very easy for anyone of any age to use. They do not have any electric components within them. So they're pretty straightforward to use. If you have experience running an Amazon FBA business or even an e-commerce business, I believe it would be very easy for you to take over and manage our niche and our company. because most of the products, as I said, are very easy to use. We do have proprietary functions or features for these products, which do help us to rank better and sell better. Other than that, yeah, I think you don't need much experience aside from past experience for running e-commerce businesses. And of course, experience in online marketing in general, whether through social media or pay-per-click ads, whether through Google, Amazon, or Facebook, or other stuff like this.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, can you describe some of the type of work that you're doing on a weekly basis for the business now?
Yeah, basically, my day goes. I wake up in the morning. I check the listings for any problems, for any negative reviews, or any negative seller feedback. I try to respond to these as soon as I can. I then check for any customer service emails that I have received from customers asking about anything about the products or inquiring about any of this stuff. Then I go over my PPC campaign for the past day and try to understand which words drive traffic, which keywords had a large spend but didn't drive any traffic or conversions and stuff like this, and try to optimize that. I also do this through a PPC software. I don't do it manually through spreadsheets because, as I said, PPC is not where I shine. So I use a dedicated software to manage this PPC content on a daily basis. Then I go over my listings themselves and check the ranking for the products and raise or lower the prices based on the sales velocity of these items. And I believe I do this all within 1 to 2 hours maximum per day. That's most what I do on a day-to-day basis. And every weekend, I check my inventory levels so that I could know when exactly I need to top up based on my supplier lead time of production and the shipping time from China to the US.
Okay. So it's pretty, straightforward stuff as far as, a couple hours every day, just checking, the reports and analytics. And I don't think there's anything that stood out that would be, any specific type of skill that's required. So it seems like it would transfer fairly easy. So putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, Ahmed, why do you think this business is worth buying?
I believe so because our niche and products are not seasonal and they are not something that is trending or a trendy kind of product. So since I started in January 2016 till today, I'm still selling from my first SKU the same amount and volume of units till this day. So I would say this is a very strong point since our products are not seasonal and are not a trendy kind of products that just go away after some time. There is a strong continuity part here and for the business itself. I would also say that one of the strong points that we do enjoy as well is help from our suppliers to get better prices and avoid out of stock situations, since we are always topping up inventory based on that the products are already produced and stored ready to be shipped out immediately. We do enjoy some good payment terms that I would be glad to explain to the new buyers, because cash flow can sometimes be a difficult thing to operate in e-commerce businesses. So we do enjoy some credit payment terms with our suppliers that I believe would be very beneficial to any future buyer. Yeah, most of it is like this.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure any potential buyer listening in can see the value that offers having those connections and those relationships to carry on with the business. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share, Ahmed, that I might have missed in this call?
Just that, as I said, we have around 26 SKUs on the account, 12 of whom are active right now. The other 14 are not active just because of capital and cash flow issues, not for anything else. So a buyer with the right capital and right cash flow could enjoy a large set of products which could double profitability in an instant. So this is something that you should be thinking about, because instead of launching new products, you already have the platform with products that have already been launched with great number of reviews, all above 4 stars, that are just ready to be relaunched and re-ranked for a quick increase in revenue and profit ultimately. Also, that we do have a very, very nice optimized website. We do use a premium theme for our Shopify website. We've built the brand over the years. We've been operating for 4 years now. So in terms of sustainability and brand recognition, I think we've been growing pretty much in a perfect way. Aside from the drop that we had in 2018 for reasons I've mentioned, which are mostly related to inventory management and the Chinese New Year holiday, it affected us negatively in 2018. But thankfully, to prove to myself before anyone else that the business was not a fluke, in 2019, I am on track to push the business even further than it was in 2017, which was our highest year in terms of revenue and profit.
Yeah, no, it's really great to hear that and, to see the numbers and seeing this business as it's grown over the years. And, regardless, having a plan for this business to reach its full potential is always a great value to have with any asset that a potential buyer is looking at. So I really appreciate you coming onto the call today, Ahmed, and I look forward to the future and getting this listing sold for you very soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time, Brandon, and thank you for having me over again today.
Thank you so much. You take care and have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make a deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Thank you and have a great day.